The Los Angeles Lakers attempted to trade Dalton Knecht during the trade deadline a year ago for Mark Williams. However, the Lakers rescinded the trade, bringing Knecht back in one of the more interesting scenarios over the past few years. The youngster was drafted in the first round by the Lakers, and the hope was for him to make an immediate impact. He had some struggles as an older rookie but ultimately played in 19.2 minutes per game and averaged 9.1 points. He shot an impressive 37.6% from three-point range on 4.4 attempts per game, so there's certainly something there. However, according to a recent report from Anthony Irwin, the Lakers have had conversations about Knecht over the past few weeks, and it's possible that he could be traded. As trade assets go, the Lakers still have Gabe Vincent and Maxi Kleber's expiring contracts. They can still trade their own first-round pick in either 2031 or 2032. Dalton Knecht's name has come up in plenty of trade discussions this summer after he was sent out in that infamously rescinded Mark Williams deal last season. Rui Hachimura is a popular target of other teams who call the Lakers as well. Austin Reeves, even after turning down a max extension to remain with the Lakers, is not considered likely to be moved, he wrote. Lakers continue to look for ways to improve team. The Los Angeles Lakers have been looking for multiple ways to improve their roster, recently signing DeAndre Ayton to a deal. A former number 1 overall pick, he hasn't been great in the NBA, but that's largely due to his lack of motor. Ayton has a lot of talent, and if he can figure things out with his effort, he should be in a position to succeed with the Lakers. Regarding other moves, Owen added that the Lakers are interested in Miami Heat wing Andrew Wiggins. In terms of those conversations, as previously reported, the Lakers have been in touch with the Portland Trail Blazers about Robert Williams and the Miami Heat about Andrew Wiggins. Sources say those talks hit snags, and then the Lakers' focus was drawn to their pursuit of Ayton. They can pick up at any time, and Rob Pelinka speaks with Joe Cronin particularly often, he reported. What Heat want for Andrew Wiggins? The Wiggins interest from the Los Angeles Lakers' perspective is real, but according to a report from Jovan Buha of The Athletic, the Heat are looking for Knecht and a first-round pick. He later added that he doesn't believe that's a good trade package, as it'd be too much to give up for Wiggins. I don't know if Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Shake Milton, and a first-round pick gets you Andrew Wiggins, Buha said. I've reported/shared what I've heard, which is that Miami has been asking for a first and Dalton Knecht, which is an overpay for Wiggins. I think they also want Rui Hachimura, too, because they want to remain competitive. Obviously, Rui is a better player than Gabe or Maxi. Miami's asking price has to drop, as I've said before. Wiggins has proven throughout his career to be an above-average defender, and he's done some decent things offensively. He was better with the Golden State Warriors than he was with the Heat, averaging as much as 19.4 points in Golden State. If the Lakers don't have to give up Knecht or the first, it's possible that could be a good trade. However, for both, they might be pushing it a bit. The Los Angeles Lakers have been linked to free agent guard DeAnthony Melton in recent weeks, but it appears they're set to miss out on him. Lakers insider Jovan Buha reports there is more buzz now about Melton going to the Golden State Warriors instead of coming to Los Angeles. The chatter with Melton and the Lakers has cooled over the last few days, Buha said. There has actually been more buzz with him and the Warriors. He's been linked to them a little bit more. The Warriors had signed Melton to a one-year, $12.8 million deal on the mid-level exception in free agency in 2024. He got off to a promising start, averaging 10.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.2 steals, and 0.3 blocks per game, but tore his ACL after featuring just 6 times for them. The Warriors traded Melton to the Brooklyn Nets in December 2024, and it looks like a reunion is now on the cards. He would be a fine addition, as he showed last year, and missing out on him would be a blow to the Lakers. Buha isn't the only one reporting that a deal is unlikely, as Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus has mentioned the same. Some of the buzz linking him to the Los Angeles Lakers has died down in recent weeks. A 3-and-D guard like Melton, who has shot 38.3% from beyond the arc over the last 5 seasons, is exactly what the Lakers need. They lack quality perimeter defenders, and he'd be just what the doctor ordered. The Lakers' need for defenders has only heightened following Dorian Finney-Smith's departure in free agency. Melton would have helped ease that blow, but they have to look elsewhere now. Lakers president of basketball operations and general manager Rob Pelinka had stated that getting a center and a defensive wing were their top priorities this offseason. Pelinka has managed to bring in DeAndre Ayton to be the starting center next season, but hasn't brought in that wing defender just yet. The Lakers have signed Jake LaRavia, and while he can hold his own, he isn't exactly a defensive stopper. They did draft Dudu Thiero with a 36th pick, and while he could potentially be a fine wing defender one day, it's unlikely he'll be making a huge impact as a rookie. So it will be interesting to see who Pelinka brings in. The Lakers do have the assets to trade for a quality wing defender in the form of Dalton Knecht and their draft picks. Getting back to the Warriors, Melton would be their first signing in free agency if they do indeed strike a deal. They are the only team that hasn't signed or traded for a player yet this offseason. Their only additions so far have been Alex Tui and Will Richard via the draft. To go with Melton, the Warriors have also been heavily linked to Al Horford. Horford is still assessing his options, though, with the Boston Celtics and Denver Nuggets being the other leading contenders to acquire him, according to the Boston Globe's Adam Himmelsbach. Retirement is an option as well, and those teams would be hoping he doesn't go down that route. The Los Angeles Lakers don't plan to offer LeBron James a buyout if he's unhappy with a roster heading into next season, but he could have meaningful trade value in the right scenario. ESPN's Bobby Marks reported early in free agency that the market for James around the NBA was relatively non-existent given his price point, age, and what a team would have to give up in return. The one possible caveat to that involves a franchise on the cusp of a finals push with James serving as the ingredient to put it over the top. The Cleveland Cavaliers finished first in the Eastern Conference last season and fit that bill, particularly with the Boston Celtics, Indiana Pacers, and Milwaukee Bucks all significantly weakened by injuries to top stars unlikely to return next season. It doesn't hurt that James is also a native of Akron, Ohio, a former #1 pick of the Cavaliers in 2003 and led the organization to its sole championship in franchise history in 2016. Cleveland's roster is also going to get expensive over the next few years, particularly at the top, so dealing at least one of its big four makes some financial sense. In this hypothetical, the Cavaliers would send Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen to the Lakers in exchange for James and DeAndre Ayton. Lakers, Cavaliers can make money work in trade proposal of James, Ayton for Garland, Allen. James opted into his $52.6 million contract in 2025-26, while Ayton inked a 2-year contract with Los Angeles worth an average of $8.4 million annually, $8.1 million next season, after a buyout from the Portland Trail Blazers. Their nearly $61 million combined salary only slightly exceeds the combined $59.5 million the Cavs owe Garland and Allen next season. The NBA salary cap tax threshold is just under $188 million in 2025-26, while the Cavs are projected to have a payroll of nearly $218 million next season absent any changes, which is approximately $30 million into the tax. Cleveland can get off of James' money following the upcoming campaign if it so chooses by simply not offering him a new deal in 2026-27. Or the team can negotiate with James for his age, 42 season on a reduced salary, and extend its potential championship window with a core group of James, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley, freeing up money to make other moves in the coming seasons with Garland and Allen on the payroll. Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen fit Lakers' long-term needs around Luka Doncic. The salaries of Garland and Allen each raise over the next several years. 2 seasons for Garland on his $197 million contract and 3 seasons for Allen on his $91 million deal. Los Angeles is already thinking long-term about how to best build around Luka Doncic, which is part of the reason James may push for a trade in the coming weeks and/or months, and doing so is likely to involve the pursuit of multiple All-Stars. Garland and Allen could fit the bill well. Allen, 27, fills the roles of lob threat and rim protector the Lakers want alongside Doncic. The team could stagger Doncic and Garland to keep an all-star ball handler/scorer on the point for all 48 minutes, which would also minimize the defensive deficiencies created by playing the two next to each other in the backcourt too frequently. Garland, 25, was an all-star last season, averaging 20.6 points, 6.7 assists, 2.9 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. Allen was most recently an all-star in 2022. He produced 13.5 points, 9.7 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 0.9 blocks, and 0.9 steals per contest last season.